Good morning, everyone. I'm Louisa, and welcome to Bellissimo Business Weekly. And please welcome to our co-host, Michella.
Thank you, Lisa. I'm so excited to be here. Today, we are going to touch on some of the macro-environment dimensions revolving around the General Electric Company, in which we will be placing a greater emphasis on its largest industrial segment, which is power and water. We are going to be using the PESTLE analysis to analyze the political, economic, sociocultural, technology, and environment factors of the GE company in order of importance. We will also draw some implications for the company throughout this analysis, and we will be using the SWOT analysis as a conclusion.
Yes, that is true. According to Forbes 2015, GE is the 9th world most valuable brands with market capital of $253 billion and sales accounting to approximately $150 billion. And now we will take a look at a short video clip which shows you a background of the company.
GE is an American multinational conglomerate incorporated in New York and headquartered in Fairfield, USA. The company has developed from Thomas Edison's home laboratory in 1892 into one of the largest companies in the world. GE operates in various segments, which are aviation, health, power and water, oil and gas, transportation, energy management, and capital. GE currently operates in more than 125 countries worldwide. Power and water will be its largest industrial segment, providing various power generation, energy delivery, and water process technology. GE is moving, powering, and curing.
And now we will pass on the technological aspect of this company to Rita. Technology will be the most important macro-environment factor in this company.
I believe that technology is the fastest changing factor of the macro environment. Therefore, for the GE Power and Water segment, technology would be the most important dimension of the PESTLE analysis. GE aims to be the best infrastructure and technology company in the world as it continues to adopt new forms of energy storage and management. Innovation is the main key to success for GE. Efforts has been made to improve its technology capabilities by establishing the GE Global Research, one of the largest and diversified industrial research laboratory in the world, with robust research and development capabilities. In 2013, GE spent $4,750 million in research and development, which accounts for over 3% of its total revenue. This allows them to generate new and innovative products and hence becoming the technological leader in the world. One of the main focus of research areas in the US is on energy development and security, and this has taken a huge part of the President's budget in 2015. The Department of Energy's Office of Science invests funds for the research and development of energy and infrastructure companies such as GE, providing great support for its innovative development. To keep up with the new trend and to meet its customers' demand, GE has been concentrating on the development of the technology for nuclear energy. In addition to that, for expansion purpose, it also established a global nuclear alliance to serve the nuclear industry and having contracts with the largest nuclear fleet in the US. In addition, GE also invests in other emerging areas such as the biomass power industry. It is obvious to conclude that technological development is crucial as it increases the production efficiency and distribution level of the GE company. Moreover, technological advancement yields competitive advantage for the GE company. It should continue to be proactive by continually analyzing the emerging market to meet its customers' demand and, more importantly, to be ahead of its competitors. Technological shifts in the future will have positive influences on the costs and quality of its products and services, leading to further innovation.
Isn't it amazing how GE has been innovating throughout these years?
Yeah, it really is. The next macro environment factor to be discussed would be the environmental aspect of this company that will be discussed by me. So moving on to environmental environment, first we will look at the corporate social responsibility or CSR. CSR is a concept where corporations need to be responsible and consider the social and environmental impacts of their business operations. Why? The increasing pressure from shareholders and stakeholders, including government, forced GE to conduct CSR. In other words, they forced GE to not only focus on generating high profit but also to help the society and environment. In GE Power and Water, this demand can also be seen as the driver for the business itself. As mentioned before, GE aims to look for advanced technology that can help the society to increase productivity and efficiency. Hence, the core of the business is aligned with the concept of CSR. Moreover, CSR can be used as a form of advertising to help build the brand image and maintain relationship with stakeholders and shareholders. Lastly, CSR can help the business to gain competitive advantage and to differentiate GE from other competitors. Eco-imagination is GE's strategy to increase productivity while reducing the environmental impacts. 2015 marks the 10th anniversary of eco-imagination, and at the end of 2014, GE has reduced its greenhouse emission by 31% compared to the 2004 baseline, and they also reduced the water use by 42% as compared to the 2006 baseline. So what's next? GE committed to invest $25 billion in cleaner technology research and development by 2020. As mentioned by Rita, GE has huge opportunities on developing nuclear energy. However, there are some disadvantages of nuclear technology such as nuclear radiation and non-renewable energy. The waste produced by nuclear reactors are extremely dangerous and can leak radiation if not stored properly. Therefore, it is important for GE to consider these disadvantages and take precautions or develop new technology to overcome this problem. There are some suggestions for GE. Firstly, GE must not only focus on generating high profits, but also to finding the mutual benefit between the company and society is crucial for GE. By finding the mutual value, GE will be able to maximize the benefit of giving back to the society while also generating profit and achieve their goals. Moreover, GE must be able to understand the current issues from business and societal perspectives to ensure the long-term success of the business. By having a deeper understanding, GE can concentrate their CSR efforts by investing on areas where the business mostly interacts with, and hence can have the greatest impacts on both parties.
Now, I would like to discuss about the economic aspects revolving around GE. Economic conditions such as variation in interest rate, exchange rate, money value, and government expenditure have largely influenced the productivity and profitability of the GE company. The USA can be considered as the biggest economy in the world, while the company is still very dependent on the US market. As you can see, the inflation rate in the USA has been decreasing from 2012 to 2015. It is actually experiencing deflation in 2015 this year, which is the first time since 2009. We will look at how deflation will impact GE. Deflation is due to a low spending, and this increases the purchasing power of people. In an attempt to motivate consumption, the government will increase the interest rate to motivate borrowing and reduce saving. This will initially attract foreign direct investment, making investing in GE more attractive. However, it is important to note that there is a potential risk of recession, and if this happens, it will adversely impact the profitability of GE. The impact of the global financial crisis had a terrible impact to GE, which is mainly due to the failure of the GE Capital. GE Capital was the main source of debt during the crisis, and the company is currently on the move to exit this financial segment. Looking from the power and water segment, the crisis caused an increase in the price of input, and the company had to sell its underperforming businesses and assets, and this had stifled the growth of the GE Power and Water. Looking at the bright side, GE Power and Water has a relatively inelastic demand due to the fact of it having monopoly power and the nature of power and water as necessities. Now, we will look at the trend of the earnings of GE Power and Water, which has been fluctuating during the past 3 years. The decreased profit in 2013 was due to a lower sales volume and a stronger US dollar, while the increased profit in 2014 was due to the rebound of the US economy and the lower inflation rate during that period, attracting foreign investment. Now, we will compare GE Power and Water revenue with its competitors. GE has a negative change in earnings, while UTC and Honeywell experience a positive change in earnings of above 14%. GE is performing well compared to Emerson. However, compared to United Technologies and Honeywell, GE is still required to raise its competence. The main economic implication that I would like to address is for GE to redouble its effort to deleverage the company, in which its major debts mostly come from the GE Capital. I consider the GE Capital as a much more risky venture than it previously was, and this certainly affects GE's other segments negatively. I believe that GE's future is not in the landing, and it should continue to exit its financial business.
Thank you, Michella, for your discussion of the economic factors impacting USA and GE. Now, we will pass on the legal and political aspect to Ling.
The US government is currently implementing changes to the corporate tax policy, in which it plans to implement a 14% tax on overseas profit made by US company and a 19% tax on future earnings, whereas the current policy allows overseas profit to remain untaxable if it does not affect the nation's GDP. This corporate tax reform will impact GE heavily by reducing its profit. Aside from generating over 60% of its revenue overseas, GE has been known for avoiding tax by finding loopholes in the US tax system. It keeps its $110 billion profits held overseas in 2014 alone, and do not intend to bring these profits back to the US in order to avoid the tax. President Obama has recently came up with this Clean Power Plan, which aims to reduce greenhouse gas emission by 40% and increase renewable energy by 30% in the next decade. This in turn forces GE and other federal energy suppliers to reduce their carbon emission, with a target to reduce 5 million metric tons of carbon emission. Not only does the power sector of GE have to deal with the new laws, GE would also have to deal with the new water regulation as well. President Obama has announced that the new regulation would give federal government the authority to limit the pollution disposed into the nation's river, oceans, and many other water streams. This is to ensure that all Americans and businesses have access to clean and protected water. GE has been using the Hudson River in New York as their disposal route for decades. The company was sued in 1999 for contaminating the Hudson River, in which it then spent $1.4 billion to clean up the river. As a result of this new water regulation, there is a potential for GE to be forced to relocate their Hudson River power plant or use a much better water treatment technology. Regardless of what decision they make, it will affect its operation and profitability in the short run.
Thank you so much, Ling, for your contribution. Now we will touch on the socio-cultural dimension of this company. Please welcome Cassie.
GE is a multinational company operating in more than 160 countries. Because of this, the company needs to adapt with different cultural challenges, and there are some social-cultural aspects that can influence how the company conducts their business. For example, the culture in a particular country determines the working hours, employment policies, procedure for appointing managers, and the types of goods to be produced. GE provides equal opportunity employer. This means that it offers a fair career opportunity and makes employment-related decisions without taking into account race, religion, sex, age, and disability. In the USA, the population is moving toward a liberal mindset, especially after President Obama was elected as the first black president. Diversity in the workplace of GE company embraced as a competitive advantage. GE hires talented staff and provides health skill training for their employees. They invest about $1 billion on their employees' training and education programs every year. GE also encourages the healthy balance between work and life. In 2009, GE launched a Healthy Hand for its employers and helping more than 300,000 employers and their families in leading a healthy life. GE employs more and more young Muslim workers, and hence it's a good idea to allocate a nature space for them to pray. For GE training and education program, if they were to continue their current practices, it can be predicted that GE would attract and retain their talented staff, which would benefit GE in the long run. By providing this to their employers, GE can motivate their employees and increase the Generally, the consumer and the investor prefer changing towards green products that are ethically and environmentally responsible. Nowadays, investors do not only seek high dividend earnings from a corporation, but it also demands the firm to be eco-friendly. Therefore, GE Power and Water should cater their need by emitting less water and air pollution and innovating environmental-friendly power machines. GE should follow the Clean Power Plan and its new rule limiting water pollution, advocated by Obama, in which Ling had already mentioned. GE also offers wastewater treatment, and it has their own environmental protection agency, which focuses on the waste reduction and saving environmental resources. Hence, it's important for GE to keep research and develop to innovate better eco-friendly technology to fulfill the consumer demands.
And now we are done with the vessel analysis. Moving on, we will conclude our discussion using the SWOT analysis, which will be presented by Cassie and Ling.
And now, we will be evaluating GE using the SWOT analysis. GE, being listed as the 4th largest in the world among the Forbes Global 2000 and 8th in Fortune 500, is a well-known and well-established company and is considered as a market leader in the industry. As they operate in various segments, it enables them to build a strong brand image. Extensive research and development capabilities has allowed them to be ahead of their competitors. Moreover, due to the nature of GE's business, they are helping the society to look for innovative products that can increase productivity and efficiency, which is done through CSR. And this enables them to differentiate themselves from their competitors and gain trust from stakeholders. On the other hand, it is facing an identity crisis because of the over-diversification of its portfolio as they operate in various segments. Management finds it challenging to allocate sufficient attention to each of the sectors, causing the decision-making process to slow down. Being a strong brand, it is easily targeted for litigation, even for minor issues which otherwise can be easily resolved.
Moving on to opportunities, GE needs to continuously invest in research and development. By doing that, it helps GE to meet its current consumer demand and to be ahead from their competitors. Expanding the business in developing countries such as Indonesia, Malaysia, and India can be seen as opportunities for GE, and by doing that, it enables GE to increase its global presence. Lastly, merger and acquisition with different companies or similar companies can help GE to grow rapidly in its segment, new segments, and new locations. By merging their business, GE will be able to diversify its activity, promoting future specialization and enhance productivity. As mentioned by Ling, there are laws and regulations in the USA that are continuously changing which affect GE's profitability. Therefore, changes in laws and regulations can be seen as a threat as the company doesn't have control of it. and it affects how the company conducts their business. Increasing comparison can be intensified by better technology solutions by other competitors. Hence, GE may lose their consumers, market share, and profitability in the industry. Last but not least, the global economic crisis has had an adverse effect on most companies in the world today. The rise in price and the shrinking bank lending rate decrease the amount of cash flow to most business. Moreover, consumers are cutting their spending because their money now have low purchasing power than it used to.
We really appreciate the contribution of Ling, Rita, and Cassie, who sadly cannot make it to our studio today. I'm Louisa.
And I am Michella.
And we thank you for watching BEX2622 Business Weekly, and we hope to see you soon. Ciao!